So round 13 of the National Rugby League comes to a close. The Parramatta Eels, after back-to-back losses, heavy losses to the Manly Seagulls and the South Sydney Rabbitohs, 40 points to 4 winners over the Knights in Newcastle. Hi, welcome to the final whistle. Sam Thaiday, Phil Gould, Alana Ferguson with me. Nice to see you all as we dissect the round that was. Let's head to McDonald Jones Stadium now in the wake of Parramatta's win over Newcastle. And the man of the moment, their skipper, Clint Gutherson, joins us. Gutho, congratulations. The Eels, after a tough fortnight, you're back.
Yeah, look, we knew it was going to be tough up here. Old boys' day for them, and there was a great crowd out, and we just knew that we just had to sort of complete our sets. We probably haven't been doing that the last couple of weeks, and look, they were pretty depleted, but we knew we had to come up here and do a job, and just happy to get a win after 2 sort of tough weeks in a row.
Yeah, you needed that one, didn't you, Gutho? What impressed you most about the win for your side tonight?
I think just the way we sort of just built the game. I know in that first half we were seeing a lot, but we just sort of kept completing and just stuck to what we needed to do. And it's pretty disappointing for them to get that try at the end, but look, that's the way it goes, and it's just good to be back in the winning circle.
Gutho, Mike Acevo, you train against him, you have to tackle him at training. How happy are you that he's on your team?
Yeah, it's not fun when he's you're doing some left first right at training and he's running over you in the corner. But look, you know all you got to do is give all wingers these days. Just give them that half a metre of space and they'll make it count. And we did that a couple of times tonight, and it's just pleasing to see him score and do what he does best.
Clint, there appeared to be a definite change in your structure in defence and the mindset as well. Did you feel more confident with what you threw up against the Newcastle attack today?
Yeah, look, we felt good. We had a good week of training, and we just need everyone to buy into what we're doing, and what we're doing will work. And look, that's what pleased us tonight. They threw a lot of shape at us, and we just kept turning up, keeping that wall. They've got a lot of good players that skip around, and yeah, that's what's most pleasing, Gus.
Clint, what about the man bun? Is it here to stay?
Look, there's been plenty of questions about it. It's been a long 16 months of growing it, and I'll see what happens. Sometimes you get out of the shower and you just want to shave it off, but look, it's a bit of fun at the moment.
Gutho, on a serious note, a couple of guys in the spine. Mitch Moses went off early, and Reid Marnie as well. Have you had a chance to check up on those guys yet?
No, I haven't spoke to Mitchy. Reedy said it was his shoulder. I thought, looking back at the replay, it was going to be his pec, but hopefully not long term. I hope Mitchy's just was missing his goal kick, so I think he just wanted to come off.
Hey, Gutho, well done this afternoon. We'll see you next Sunday, Bankwest Stadium, when you take on the Tigers live on 9.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Clint Gutherson joining us here on the final whistle in the wake of that big win. Obviously, as you mentioned too, Reid Marnie, the big concern as we sit here right now for the Parramatta Eels. I mentioned they're taking on the Tigers, Semi, who got the better of the Panthers in round 13 of the competition, albeit a depleted side. What did you make of the crowd giving it to their former coach, Ivan Cleary?
Yeah, it was a depleted side, but it was really good to see. It was my Sunday salute on the Sunday Footy Show. Absolutely love the Leichhardt crowd. They could either be with the Tigers or against the Tigers, and they were definitely back in their team. And they were into Ivan Cleary. It must have taken a lot of willpower for Ivan Cleary not to react. I would have definitely thrown maybe a nice
There's a couple of smirks there. I reckon
wave
he
back
considered
or
it.
something like that. But yeah, how good is that Leichhardt crowd?
As always, Gus, Ivan handled it very well. Don't get much out of him.
As I said, you've usually got a feeling for a pulse. I think his pulse was going a little bit faster there, but that's the fun of football, isn't it?
Certainly is. What did you make of the result? What do you read into what you saw?
I think, look, it's very, very difficult for the top sides, particularly when they haven't done it before. I mean, the Panthers haven't been in a situation like that ever, where they've had so many players, such a big disruption to their team. And you really need a little bit more time out in the middle playing together. I thought their young blokes acquitted themselves really well. Fellas like Lindsay Smith and Hopgood and young Tago, who came off the bench. Probably some of the other fellas that haven't been getting a lot of starts in the NRL disappointed a little bit. And the Tigers were really resilient. I mean, it was at home in front of their home crowd. They disappointed last time they were there, and they put in a good 80-minute performance. And that was just beyond a few of the young Panthers on the night. You play that game 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I think Panthers improve as they go along. But right at the moment, that's our game. You know, we get disrupted by Origin every year. Teams that have a big Origin representation, it takes them a few years to learn how to deal with that.
I've got to say, Alana, I kind of like the rivalry that's developed between the Tigers and the Panthers. They've got another match later this year as well. I expect it to be just as boisterous.
It's so good. That's why we love our game, isn't it? That's why we love the Tigers fans piping up to Ivan Cleary as well. We love the passion, and yeah, It's the best.
Who doesn't love a cat fight?
See what you did there.
Oh, nice.
Hey, it's a cat fight for those guys. It's a little bit different on Wednesday night. State of Origin 1, Townsville the scene. Tonsillitis, Sam, the Queensland camp. You guys, late on a Sunday. Story usually drops.
It's actually
about this time.
Yeah. It's a bit of gameplay there, I think. Maybe. Who knows? Because
Maybe.
We've outed them already.
I remember getting my tonsils out as a kid. I thought every Queenslander got them out when they were younger. Yeah, helps us sing better. Yeah.
Isolated from the rest of the group.
Yeah, exactly.
What, sing the team song, you're saying?
That's it. He might have been kissing Alfie Langer.
Oh, this swagger.
Do you
never
actually
know.
go into camp and plan it? I mean, do you say Monday it's an ankle?
Yeah,
Tuesday it's
so you
tonsillitis?
sit down with the media manager
part
and
of
you
the
figure it
schedule.
all
Work
out.
it out,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jonathan Thurston used to be one we used to always toss up for something wrong with him. We'd even check him to the hospital sometimes and just pretend. So, yeah.
So what's next? Have you had a look?
Oh,
The
someone's
roster?
actually going to die in camp and they're going to come back to life before the game. Yeah, exactly. So that's what's going to happen. There'll be a zombie out there playing on Wednesday night.
I think it'll be very hard to beat. Being brutally honest, I think Queensland will be extremely hard to beat, particularly in this game 1 and game 2 up there in Queensland. And said it last year. I mean, people underestimated Queensland last year, and particularly the experience of their two halves, Cherry Evans and Munster. I think that's the key for them. The young New South Wales side, they've awarded a lot of young kids. There's a lot of debut players there on club form, and they're deservedly there. But this is going to be another step up again from what they've experienced. I mean, club football over the last 18 months, there haven't been too many really Origin-type games, and this is going to be a completely different complexion for them. And I think they'll get better the further the series, so I hope they persevere with them. But right at the moment, this is going to be an awesome experience for those young players on Wednesday night.
It's a very evenly matched two teams, and I'm really looking forward to it too.
I'm a little worried about Queensland's work rate in the forward. I think players are going to have to come off the bench and contribute there.
Yep.
They're going to have to watch their interchange really closely. New South Wales, I think, has got a far more hard-working pack. But I keep coming back to Cherry Evans and Munster because in the key moments and when the game gets down to the wire, and if it goes down to the back end and a close finish, they're the ones that have been there and done it before, and that's going to stand Queensland in really good stead.
Our Six Tackles with Gus podcast coming early this week too, Gus, to preview Origin.
Can't wait for that.
Favourite subject on the podcast?
Counting the minutes. I just gave you all my best work.
No.
There'll be plenty more. You can talk.
You can cut this up,
I'm
can't you?
backing
Just
you.
put it-
Long list of questions coming your way, Gus. Long list of questions. So that'll be coming late on Monday rather than the usual Wednesday drop. And, of course, 100% footy as well. Big Origin preview. Head into both camps. Before we wrap things up, though, wasn't it great to see the Campbell combination at the Gold Coast Titans? Of course, we know what Preston Campbell has done for the game, and particularly in a Titans jersey as well. And then to see young Jaden make his debut, it makes you feel not only very old, but very proud for Preston as well to see. And what fine form to start his career too.
Yeah, it was a proud parenting moment for Preston sitting up there on the hill watching his son play. It was he played really good, to be honest. I think he definitely ticked the box. He covered well in defence. Great shot there on Nico Hines. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more of this young fellow going forward for sure.
I think too, Sam, with the way the game's being refereed today, and if it continues away with the 6 agains and the speed of the game and the high tackle stuff, kids like this are more and more going to come into their own. We're going to see more kids of his size and skill set come into the game.
You look at a Dufty or a... I can't even think.
Don't say Dufty because St George fans will have a fit.
Oh,
if we
okay.
mention Dufty. We can't mention
You look at a
Dufty.
Pappenhausen and a Dufty, that smaller style player, and how dominant they are in our game now. I'm sure
He'll come into his own, that
I'm
kid.
sure if Preston was still playing in these days, he'd be carving up as well.
Absolutely.
I love seeing the go down in the family too. Just pass the baton on, like we've seen with the
pretty
Johns.
cool.
Johns, Jack Johns for the Knights over the weekend as well. Maddie's son.
It's pretty cool.
Another Johns bringing Newcastle
I'm
Knights
just
jersey.
feeling older, that's all that happened.
We all are, Gus. Don't worry about that. It's this time of year too. It does it too. Now, time to play on the clock. We ready? Have you played
What's
this game
that?
before?
No, what's that?
Just
So
sort of,
there's a clock that ticks.
Yeah.
I think so. And you have to finish the sentence. There we go. The clock's ticking.
clock's ticking.
The last thing Freddie thinks about before he goes to sleep on Tuesday night is, Sam?
Did I set my alarm?
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll set one.
Yeah, I don't
Alana, the last thing Freddie thinks about before he goes to sleep on Tuesday is?
Something really weird.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know. No one has Freddie's brain.
Breakfast, that's what he's thinking about, it's breakfast.
You
Really?
reckon?
Yeah.
Gosh.
That wouldn't surprise me. Gus, Origin in Townsville on Wednesday will be?
Brilliant.
Epic.
I like that. You're fully sick, bro.
Yeah.
Semi, Origin in Townsville on Wednesday will be.
It'll be history making.
Okay, and the X Factor in Origin 1 will be.
Tino Fasua Malawi.
Just rolls off the tongue so well, doesn't
Well,
it?
that's why I wanted to say it.
Origin 1 X Factor for you, Alana?
Turbo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gus?
Nathan Cleary,
Big game ahead.
time to take control.
Yeah, indeed it is. Time for me to wrap up. We're done. Thank you, Gus.
Thanks, James.
Thanks. See you for the podcast and 100%.
Yeah, 100% footy all tomorrow.
We're all over it. Big day for you tomorrow,
That'll be
Gus.
our fifth Origin preview.
You might as well just sleep here, actually, to be honest.
Too many Origin previews are never enough. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you,
Look
Russ.
after those tonsils. Oh, no, they're already gone.
yeah.
Thank you, Alana. Thanks for tuning into the final whistle. See you same time next week. Bye-bye.